Hello everyone and welcome to a Noob's Guide to Survivor in Dead by Daylight. The goal of today's video is to teach you, who is probably a beginner if you're here, the very basic tips that could help you in most of your games in the game that is Dead by Daylight. Now when you first log on to the game for the very first time, it's going to be very overwhelming. There are so many killer powers, so many maps, so many different things to remember, and so many different perks especially, with there being over 75 killer perks alone, never mind survivor perks. Overall, we are aiming to help you learn some of the things that take place more commonly in matches, and also some other tips to help you learn at least a little bit of what's really going on throughout the entire game and trial. Right off the bat, you'll notice that the map we spawn into is Groaning Storehouse, a Macmillan Estate map that is actually very good for survivors with lots of strong places to loot. However, it's not too big, so it can be decent for the killer as well. One of the other things you'll notice right off the bat is that we spawned at a TNL wall tile. This kind of tile is very strong for looping, and any killer that uses a basic M1 type of attack rather than a power will have a hard time catching you if you loop them here. Another thing is that we hop off this generator, which also spawned here with us as another bonus. The reason we do that is to check for Ruin, a very strong killer perk that spawns on a hex totem. We check this totem over here for Undying. The killer has neither Undying nor Ruin. Another important thing to note is your loadout, which are the 4 perks you choose to bring with you into the match. My personal loadout includes Flashbang, which is a perk that when you complete 50% of a generator, you can go into a locker and get a flash grenade, which you can use to blind the killer temporarily. Also Iron Will, which when injured stifles your sound, both injured and regular breathing. Bond lets me see my teammates' auras within 36 meters. And my 4th and final perk was Quick and Quiet, which allows me to make fast actions extremely quickly. Over here under where the generators are, you'll see where your item is. An item is a one-time use sort of thing. Some of them you can take out of the trial, some of them you can't. There's also add-ons for items. Add-ons are small little things you can add on to your items, which either make their effects better or make them last longer. There are also some unique add-ons that do interesting things as well. In the meantime, at the start of the match, we just work on the generator since that's the main objective. The more generators you can get done, the better, since it gets you closer to opening the exit gates at the end of the trial. Our team already got 1 generator done over there, however it came at the cost of one of them being injured and another being hooked. Each survivor has 3 hook stages. The first one, they just wait or can attempt to escape. However, after a certain amount of time, they'll hit the 2nd stage, in which you actively have to struggle against the entity. The killer we are up against is the Hag. The Hag is a defensive type killer who places traps that she can teleport to. They get triggered when a survivor moves near them, uncrouched mind you. This Hag doesn't decide to defend her hook and instead comes after us at the TNL wall, which as I said is a very strong looping area. The Hag is also a 4.4 meter per second movement killer, which makes it very hard for her to win in chase. She needs to use her traps to her advantage, which she doesn't end up doing here. The active part about looping is watching what the killer is doing and knowing what you're going to do. Right here I go for a really risky play, which does not pay off for me at all. Let's look at all the different things that happened here. So she kicked the generator, so I go to touch it to stop it from regressing. When a killer kicks a generator, it starts losing what progress is on it. Since I'm too far to make it to a safe window vault, I try to run around the Hag. However, it doesn't work out for me and she hits me anyway. She has Sloppy Butcher, a very strong killer perk which slows the process of healing, and you leave more blood trails on the ground. It can slow down the game immensely. One active mistake that I make here is I don't notice this trap over here, which will get me down later. The reason I came over here in the first place was to avoid the TNO wall, which I had already used some. When you vault a window and chase 3 times, it becomes blocked off for a period of time. So I come over to this tile to use it. However, thanks to my mistake, I get downed instead, and don't last much longer in chase. The hag picks me up and hooks me. However, while you're downed, you can see what all your teammates are up to, knowing if they're on objectives or if they're just diddly-dally. One thing you'll notice here is that the hag places a trap around my hook. Keep in mind, she can teleport to these traps, so it's a safety precaution. If someone tries to unhook me, she can just teleport in and either hook them, or hit them, or grab them. She can only actually hook them after she's down. Dwight here runs past the trap and takes a hit at the window vault. Because he wasn't aware of how the hag's power worked, or was just there with a lack of caution, he took a hit. That's more Sloppy Butcher we have to heal. Instead, Bill comes in with a flashlight, which can actually destroy hag's traps if aimed at them for a time. Here we can see that Bill has 2 very useful things. In the top right, he has Borrowed Time, a perk that, when you unhook someone, they can take an extra hit for 12 seconds. However, they will have to mend afterwards, otherwise they'll go down again. The next one you'll see him use here, which is a great counter to Sloppy Butcher. We'll make it. For 90 seconds after unhooking someone, the person that did the unhooking can heal people twice as fast. Normally with Sloppy Butcher it takes 24 seconds to heal a person, but thanks to Bill's Will Make It, he heals me in just 12. Bill already has progress on this generator, and since it goes faster with 2 people on it, I decide to help him out here. The other Bill gets the generator completed while Dwight goes down, over by where I was at the beginning. Knowing the map is very important, because you can find quick ways around, ways to dodge the killer, and also know where safety precautions are, such as pallets or windows. In this area of the clip, we can see a lot go on. I trigger a trap and panic a little. I move back thinking she might teleport it, but instead, she was in the main building with Bill. She managed to land a hit on him, which was very unfortunate. Seeing that the trap is going away and she's not teleporting, I start heading back for the hook, but I'm interrupted by her breaking down one of the breakable doors that is on the main building. Other Bill gets the save on Dwight, but the Bill that we were with goes down in the process. I try to run over to get the flashbang save, but I'm too late to make any worthwhile plays. So, what I decide to do is I hang back and watch as Bill gets hooked. The hag being unaware of my presence, that leaves me room to go and get the save afterwards. What I decide to do here is, since she's unaware of me and we only need the 1 generator and I know this one has progress, I decide to come over here and start working on it while my teammates, who are better equipped for saves on the hook, go for it. Instead, Bill runs in and he triggers the hag trap, which she teleports to and lands a hit on him. Bill also wastes the pallet that is over there, which is unfortunate. Pallets are limited resources, and some of them are better than others. This one over here could have been potentially handy to get Bill out. Thankfully, we won't end up needing it. As you can see here, if you crouch near a trap, it doesn't trigger. Other Bill is now down inside the main building, and the hag is taking him to basement, which is very, very, very unfortunate. A hag in basement can be very lethal. Dwight manages to save Bill. However, it doesn't come without a cost. He did have borrowed time, so Bill was able to take the extra hit. However, Dwight goes down soon after. I had managed to finish the generator, so now all we need to do is focus on the exit gates. There are always 2 exit gates within each trial. The distance between them is random, however. Depending on the map, that is. I work on getting this one open while my team reorganizes. What I do here might surprise some new players. I leave the gate at 99%. The gate cannot decay, and because of that, I leave it at 99% so that it's a quick open. We also see that the hag placed a trap right by the gate as defense. She also likely placed one right by the hook. The reason you 99 the gates is for a perk called Blood Warden. It's not very common, but in case the killer does have it, what it does is it blocks all exits for 60 whole seconds whenever they hook someone when an exit gate is fully open. It's a very niche perk, but it can be very devastating when used. What happens here is I keep setting off the hag's traps so that she can't just keep teleporting back, or if we get the unhook, she can't just teleport back. It looks like distracting them and spewing off the traps worked. Now Bill was able to get the save, and now both of them are out. Let's focus on what we did. So, we take out the hag's trap, meaning she can't teleport here afterwards, which is good, because if she were able to do that after the unhook, she might secure the down again, without having to catch up with us. What I do then is, as she heads back to possibly reset it, I come over towards the hook and trigger that one, hoping, and successfully, that she would come into it, scared that she would get the loss of a hook. In her panic, Bill actually manages to slip by and get the unhook on Dwight. He takes a hit himself, but thanks to her not placing a trap here, she can't just teleport right over. So, knowing what Bill and Dwight are doing, I head over and open the gate for them. What I do here is I get behind the injured teammates, since I'm healthy and can take a hit. And because of that, even if the hag did catch up, all three of us would have made it out. So that was a successful game of Dead by Daylight with some very useful tips for the beginner player. I hope you enjoyed, and if you'd like to see more in the future, do let me know. I would very much love to do this again. And good luck out there in the fog.